What's up? Real good here. It is Somatic Tuesday, and we are on our way to somatic therapy. So last week at somatic therapy, we talked about attention shifting toward what is right and could work. We talked about the fluctuation from highs and lows. I identified as a strong embodied somatic fluent man of purpose with some grounding, and I felt that in my chest. We had a sort of sign with that, and actually doing that right now feels good. I'm noticing conjures a similar sense. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Nice to have noticed that feeling. And there's also this upward sort of flowing strength up and up through my chest. This week, I'm going in with, immediate context is I slept in, which I've already identified is part of my joy, but I did have to wake up to the alarm for this appointment. And I did not have the time for the self-care that I like in the morning with body and food and hygiene, which is okay. It's just not the ideal morning. Let's see. Mentally, emotionally, contextually, I still feel some pain in my heart over this thing, this feeling of loss of someone who recently had a meltdown and acted out on me and then cut me out. And I wish I could take some responsibility for that part, but I can't because I don't see it. And so I'm left feeling a mixture of pride and helplessness and sadness and loss, as well as empathy and compassion, but that's also kind of running out as days go by without them, sort of owning what went on and saying anything about it or apologizing. I notice that's making the empathy and compassion a little bit more difficult, which maybe brings up feelings of abandonment. Abandonment's interesting for me. I've not felt abandonment until the last 2 years of my life. It seems to be coming up. I don't know if that's part of the new world dating culture or what's going on. Feelings up in the upper chest, which is perfectly located between my lower heart area, where I usually feel most things, especially love, and my throat, which is where I usually feel sadness, kind of choked up, sour. And this is right up in between the two, which feels appropriate, but I don't exactly have a name for it or a label for it, like love or sadness. Feels like loss. Yeah. So that's what we're going in with. Oh, also, I had a chat with my mother yesterday, and fortunately, felt like I got some confirmation that she has some patterns as well that I had never really noticed or acknowledged. It sort of helped a bunch of question marks fill in and things become congruous instead of incongruous in my perspective on my father and my own challenges, where there's been question marks and wondering, like, why didn't this work and why do I have this pattern? In what I saw with my mom yesterday, it's sort of fitting into this scary framework and theory of, let's just say, the Shakti. Yeah, let's leave it there. Ooh, another thing. Well, I was just thinking about reaching out to a buddy who has a wife, and I wanted to ask him how much time and space and energy does he think someone should hold for their partner. And I got to the word emotional punching bag, and a light went off. And the picture was me and this recent person who had this meltdown, and another way I'd say it is the only thing they offered to me was this sort of codependent, abusive interface while I was holding like a fully available, healthy, nonviolent space, and eventually had to set some boundaries. And when another friend introduced the term Shakti recently, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like how should I interface with Shakti? How much time and patience and energy especially when it feels like there's shrapnel coming off of Shakti. How much time and space and energy is appropriate? And how much is healthy? How much is appropriate? How much is necessary? And I was like, oh my gosh, this person's kind of a new friend, and I don't want to end up as an emotional punching bag. Interesting concept. Probably something I'm going to be looking out for. Let's actually do something we haven't done in quite a few videos together. Let's go ahead and take 3 breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, long, tall, full. Out through the mouth, just releasing and letting the body relax, letting the shoulders fall, the jaw. In through the nose, long, expanding the belly, expanding the chest, expanding the neck, up into the head. Exhaling, releasing all of it, and dropping in. And in a moment, I'll go ahead and welcome you to pause this video to do your own verbal somatic check-in. Or you can write it in the comments. For example, I'm noticing my throat feeling a bit tight. There's like a pinch behind my right shoulder blade. Feeling pressure in my chest. A little bit of sickness in my guts, chest, throat, up through the right side. Some sort of discomfort that feels a little bit good, fanning out through my right chest. A bit of tingling in my left fingers, palm. Some awareness and tingling in the outside of my right knee. Feeling a slight nausea, a little bit of fear and excitement and anxiety. The story of future, upcoming. Pressure on my body from the braking of the car, the deceleration. Feeling my resistance and counterbalance and a bit of headache. Pressure in my head. So that's the idea. So I'm going to invite you now to go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and check in with your body, with your feelings and emotions, and ideally verbalize them as you're noticing them, minimizing story. No need for justification, just noticing and getting in touch with our somatic reality. Go ahead and pause now. Back. Thanks for getting in touch with yourself, doing a little bit of somatic noticing, getting in touch with reality. So in our framework, which I'll introduce for anyone new here, reality, goodness, and work. With reality, we try to enter reality through present moment somatics, and then we'll welcome just curiosity for a little bit of mind noticing. That's a rough approach for reality for us. And then in goodness, it's a relative sense. It's easier to notice sort of what feels better, healthier, versus what feels sort of out of integrity with our own feelings, our own moral code. And then third is the work or the effort or life to actually apply the self toward reality and goodness, applying that effort. So I'm here applying that effort to share with you, which includes overcoming insecurities and a desire to just enjoy my drive, and yeah, and then I'll be doing the work here of actual somatic therapy with another practitioner, and then I'll check in here again with you. If you're getting any value out of this so far, hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and write in the comments if you got any questions or things that came up that you want to share here with the community. And if you want to help support, which I deeply appreciate, you can go over to patreon.com/realgoodlife and go ahead and donate $1 per month or any amount that you feel inspired to. And then go ahead and feel free to comment and let us know that you donated so we can thank you. I super appreciate your support. This is meaningful to me. This is meaningful work. And I'd like to continue focusing on this as much as I can. Feeling things. Therapy's over. Feel a lot in my chest. Stirred up. Not much resolved. Feeling anger. Sadness. I'm feeling everything. Confusion. Frustration. Dismay. Outrage. Dumbfounded. Fascinated. Curious. Attached, clingy, addicted, like wanting to understand. I think that's one of my danger threads. Wanting to understand. Sadness. Dismay. Disbelief. Loss. Sadness. Feeling a lot, like in my belly here, some up through here, but right in my belly right now, which could just be hunger, but that's a whole interesting other topic. Eating might make it feel better. Does that mean I was hungry? Don't know. That would certainly be level 1 logic. Yeah, so since they didn't feel like much resolution at this point, the strategy is to keep being with and having space. So like I'll probably take myself for a walk and stay with my own body for as long as I can do that, which is admittedly harder on my own. It's easier for me with the right companionship to stay with my experience. I think a lot of my escape mechanisms will start coming up, especially mentally. When I go for this walk, I'll be like, oh, you're wasting time. You should go do something. It's time to eat. Like, go reach out to a friend. That'll be fun. Or just go home and like mental strategies to avoid feeling. So I'm going to attempt to go walk with this. Oh, goodness. That was my seat. Not ideal. Well, it was a nice long walk. It's not that I necessarily came to any resolution. Certainly no mental resolution, but I stayed with myself and my somatics the whole time. I was starting to become real familiar with a feeling of shifting and growing and processing. It feels almost like pure somatic processing. Certainly seems accelerated. It feels like that kind of processing would not be happening free of consciousness and actually having attention there. And I actually think that getting lost in our minds and our stories can make things worse. So even though there's not necessarily a sense of resolution for me at this very moment, it absolutely feels productive to have gone for the walk. and continue to be with my somatic experience. And it's kind of nice to couple the walk with this somatic presence, because it's a little uncomfortable. So it's nice to have the slight distraction and beauty around. Oof. So this is the end of another somatic therapy video. This is real good. This has been challenging, and I can still feel a lot moving in my heart and guts. Thanks for watching. Hit a like if you got value out of this, and hit that subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. And head over to patreon.com/realgoodlife and donate whatever you can. I appreciate you all. Take good care. That's good care. Take good care.